Well, hey there, welcome back to the White Farm. And I feel embarrassed. I'll tell you, after the last episode, well, a lot of you pointed out that I was taking the contract grain to the wrong place, and it turns out it was. So I feel like a big doofus doing that. So thank you guys for pointing that out. At least things are working on the map, so there was no problem there. So yeah, that was a problem. But let's see. Oh no, let's not do that. So you notice I'm out in the potato field. We're harvesting some potatoes. And I had a problem, a small little hiccup with this Winkler grain box on the truck here. As a matter of fact, oh man, I ought to move that to the right spot. I might need to back it up. Yeah. So yeah, it would not accept potatoes. And I got to looking through the XML and found out that one of the lines, the field types showed it as an auger wagon. And so I changed that, and it is now working. So if any of you have used the grain box there, it's the Winkler model. Well, and it's not accepting certain products, that would be why. So I did have to edit the XML. So I've gone around the field a couple times. Well, I've done a couple laps on each end, and let's see, made a couple passes on that side and then one pass over here. Just trying to get the potatoes done. And I don't know how I'm going to actually, I don't know how much of this field we'll get through on this episode, because I also want to buy the French fry factory. We'll go ahead and get some potatoes loaded in there and get that going. See how that works out. But this is slow go. Potato picking, it goes slow. Of course, we get a lot of them. Now, you notice I do have the big Ropa harvester, and I was actually going to go with something a little bit smaller, and then this actually ended up in the used vehicle section with a price that I could not turn down, so I went ahead and bought it. It is overkill for what we're doing, this small little field, but I would actually spend more money going the other route, buying smaller equipment. And I would have had to make 2 passes instead of this one pass does it all machine. So it worked out in my favor, at least financially. The only problem is I do have a little bit less horsepower than I need. So the tractor does struggle just a little bit trying to make these turns. And then as we go that direction up the hill, it does struggle a bit, especially as this harvester gets full. But you see, I am there full throttle, barely making that turn. But it is working, just not super great. I don't really know how many potatoes we'll end up with off this field. Probably quite a few. I don't know where I'm going to store the extras. I haven't looked at the factory down there to see what its capacity is, or if I'm able to take potatoes back out of it, we might can use it as a storage facility. I don't know. I will give some to the pigs. I was going to try to mix their food. Oh, you know what? We can put some in the old windmill. Yeah, because it mixes the potato or the pig food, so we can just drop some off there and store it, I'm sure. That'll work out. So that problem solved. I probably should have just went ahead and emptied this in the truck as I went past. This thing takes a lot of room to maneuver. Trying to swing it around and get it lined back up. The helper, of course, the helper will want to go down the other side. I do have crop destruction turned off just for the potato harvest. Never fails something to happen, and the helper will stop in the middle of the field. And of course, when you hop in the tractor, then you get some crop destruction. So I have turned it off. Now I am going along the outside of the field, so I haven't had to drive through the field yet, but I just went ahead and turned it off just to save me some frustration during this activity. I know it is not a very wide pickup. I think 1.5 meters or so. Basically 2 rows, what it boils down to. But it is doing it. It's doing it good. Holds 10,000 liters, so we get a pretty good amount in there before we have to empty out. It really needs some more horsepower. I think if we end up with another crop of potatoes, I don't know that we will, but if we do during this playthrough, probably need to get a bigger tractor. And I'm actually going to start the helper right there, because we're going to hop over here to the truck. We'll go ahead and back up here and get ready to unload. Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to get a trailer to haul these potatoes. I tried several different harvesters. I actually did quite a bit of testing trying to get this thing to unload, and it would not. It would not at all. And tried a couple of different harvesters. It still would not unload to this grain box. So that's when I thought, well, maybe there's a piece of the code, of the XML code, that's just not right. So I started investigating, and yeah, in fact, it was set up as an auger wagon. So that was the problem. Alright, we're going to get out of the way. I'm going to let a helper keep going. I know it's going to drive in the field, but I can't help that. We're going to go ahead and take this down to the French fry factory and go ahead and get that going. I believe it's the next one. This, I think, is the popcorn factory. Let me just double check. We were right there. Yeah, so we're right down here. French fries. So it's just right down the road. You can definitely tell this truck is struggling just a little bit with this load. These potatoes are quite heavy. So I have no idea where to unload this. So I'm just going to pull off right here. And I am actually going... Actually, see. That's interesting. Road closed sign there on the side of the building. I'm going to turn on the triggers just for a second. Oh, let's see. There we go. Did I turn it on? Yes. Alright, so here's where we buy the... 60,000. How much do I have? Whew. Alright, that's gonna knock me down to 100,000. Let's see, it looks like pallets spawn here. Oh, and I can open the doors. Okay, good. Okay, very good. Alright, so let's pull on in and get this unloaded. not getting paid, so that means it's going into the production. So let's go over here and take a look. And we are making French fries. Very good. Alright, so full trailer in, and oh wow. Yeah, we can put a lot of potatoes in here. Now, I don't see a discharge spout, so yeah, we would not have been able to store them here. But that's okay, I think I can store them over at the windmill. A little bit unconventional, but I think it'll work out. Yeah, I tell you, after a couple of comments about the going to the wrong place, man, I felt so bad. I was just like, these people are not going to believe that I'm making content for Farm Sim. I can't even go to the right location. I was embarrassed. I tell you what, that was embarrassing. That was a big goof on my part. But hey, it worked out. Kind of cheated myself into some extra wheat. So, oh well. Oh well. We all learn. You do this enough, bound to make a mistake here and there. Alright, very good. So we're actually making some pretty good progress through the field. I'm going to go ahead and hop back in the tractor. And we'll ride out here to the end. And then I'll probably come back down the other side. We'll probably go ahead and harvest up a little bit more of this field. Maybe all of it. We'll see. And we'll bring it back in. Alright, well, let me turn around here. You can see the field is done. Got all of it done. As a matter of fact, did something else a little bit crazy. Oh, I took out a potato harvesting contract. I just glutton for punishment. No, it won't be so bad because I actually borrowed the equipment that came with the contract. And there's a reason for that. I don't care about the money so much. I'm actually doing it for the potatoes. Yeah, I want to have some extra potatoes. So, well, in this truck we have 5,804 liters. And then I went ahead and put the other load into the production. So we have 36,000 liters in the production. So not a lot of potatoes, really. So what I want to do is harvest this field of potatoes, and I'm hoping that I get a lot of extra left over after the contract, and I can have that to use for my own purposes. And so that's what I am hoping for. Hopefully this is worth it, but this harvester is pretty big. So it will, it'll go pretty quick. I think it'll go quick. I hope it will anyway. Yeah, that takes a much bigger swath. It looks like 4 rows, so but double the width. Double the width on the harvester, and it holds quite a bit more, I believe. Yeah, so that's working out good. So while that is going there, I'm actually just going to let a worker take that, and let's hop over to my harvester. I've got it set up down here in the field, and what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and start working on the end down here around the shed. Figure between both harvesters going, that shouldn't take too long to get this field done. The biggest challenge is going to be running the potatoes because they go to the wholesale. It'd be convenient if it went to this location here, the French fry factory, but of course it doesn't. It goes all the way down to the wholesale location. But that's okay. So we got a little bit of work cut out for me, and interesting to see how much I end up with over or after this contract is done. So more to come. More to come. Well, this worked out pretty good. It actually worked out, contracts complete. And I have all this left. How about that? So, we have 22,000 liters. 22,000 liters in the combine here, or the potato harvester. And 2 trailers full. So let's go ahead and get those moved over. So the French fry factory is making French fries already, and we've already got quite a few pallets saved up. So what I'm going to do, so let's see, there's 22,000 here, 22 in the harvester, and there is 23 here. So actually they're all pretty close in size. So let's go ahead and take this here and dump it out to the factory, and then we'll go ahead and take some over to the grain mill. You see all of the pallets there already for the French fries. That's pretty impressive. Only been a few hours since we put the first load into the factory, so that's making pallets of French fries actually pretty quickly. Alright, so that is the first load in. 2 more to go. Matter of fact, I think what we'll do, you know what, let's just leave this here. I wanted to do a couple more things on this episode, but I just didn't have the time. Harvesting potatoes takes quite a bit of time. I normally like to try and have 2 or 3 things to do on an episode, just to kind of keep things moving and keep it interesting. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that on this particular episode. It just took too much time to get the potatoes harvested. So, well, it is what it is. No big deal. I'm actually pretty pleased with the way this contract turned out. I had not expected to have this much potatoes left over, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, let's get this down here to the windmill. I believe we can dump this in here. Should be able to. We can make the pig food. And I believe we could get it back out of it because there is a discharge spout on this. Actually, you know what? Let's just double check that real. Yep, there looks like there is. So it should be okay. So let's get this over here, and then we'll run back and get the harvester emptied out, and then complete the contract. Actually, make a little bit of cash on the contract. 13,000, I think, is what it pays, and all these potatoes left over. So that's a pretty good deal. We do have some flour that's made. I ended up going ahead and starting up some flour production. I think it was the oats that I'd put in here since. I think it was oats. Let me see. Do we have anything? Maybe not. Nope. Maybe it was some of the wheat. I may have went ahead and made some flour out of the wheat. I can't remember exactly what it was. But you see, we have some flour stored up. So between this mill, the French fry factory, and well, the mixed salad at the farm, we've got a lot of productions going on, and I actually I didn't intend to have this many productions on this playthrough. It's just kind of how it ended up. So yeah, I'm thinking we may have to end up with a bigger trailer at some point. That little flatbed we have may not cut it for long. All of these pallets to do something with. A whole lot of pallets. I guess technically I could end up selling it directly from the factory. Lose a little bit of profits, but that may be another option. Alright, we'll get this harvester unloaded. Shouldn't take but just a second. It actually unloads really quickly. I tell you, this thing looks really cool. This harvester, I think I mentioned it I think I mentioned it in another episode. I think I've or another series. I believe I've used this before. But yeah, it looks really cool. It's almost like it has wings. It looks neat. I like that. I know they're functional, but it just looks mean. Alright, so the truck is nearly full again, so we don't have any product in the leased vehicle, so 13,500. Collect that, and there we have it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take these potatoes back over to the grain mill. I could put them in the French fry factory here, but I'm not sure how fast that is going to process the potatoes. So we'll just store them over at the windmill. If I need to bring another load over, at some point in the future I'll do that. But we'll just store them there for the time being, and move on from there. So did a little bit of potato work. I don't like potatoes, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah. Pretty successful. If I have to do potatoes, I dread it. I really do. But that wasn't too bad. So glad I got it done and over with. We'll be moving on to some other types of harvest coming up really soon. So anyhow, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure and click that thumbs up button. Well, I guess that is full. I'll figure somewhere to drop these off at. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that today as well. I do appreciate all of you for watching. We'll see you back here next time.